I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network, and this is a breaking news alert. Christian Walker, the son of Herschel Walker, the radical right extremist MAGA candidate running for senator in Georgia, just released two scathing videos this morning, which he posted on Twitter, responding to the news yesterday that Herschel Walker, his father, had paid for an abortion of one of his girlfriends in 2009. At the same time, Herschel Walker's politics and political positions is supportive of total abortion bans, even in cases of rape, incest, and where a woman's health could be placed in jeopardy. Now, last night, in response to the Daily Beast story, we talked about this on a MeidasTouch video that Christian Walker had responded. He said, quote, "I know my mom and I would really appreciate if my father, Herschel Walker, stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man when you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months, running from your violence. I don't care about someone who has had a bad past and takes accountability. But how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral, Christian, upright man? You've lived a life of destroying other people's lives. How dare you?" In response to those tweets by Christian Walker, he got attacked by a lot of people on the right wing who were trying to act like Christian Walker was somehow lying about that, and they were posting videos and photos of Christian Walker with Herschel Walker at campaign events, or at one particular campaign event, saying, "See, look, you supported him then, and how dare you?" There are other people who said you've been indoctrinated by your school. Christian goes to UCLA, and Christian's like, just stop it. Enough is enough. And so Christian made these videos, and he posted them on Twitter. I'm going to play them right now. The first one, he writes before posting the video, "I've stayed silent for nearly 2 years as my whole life has been lied about publicly. I did one campaign event, then said I didn't want involvement. Don't you dare test my authenticity. Here is the full story." Play the video.
"I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values?" I was silent, lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all that's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day 1. We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left to act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that he has done. I've talked about father absence. I've talked all these issues because they've been close to me. Because they matter to me, because I went through it. That's why I've talked about it. So when you say, well, talk about your dad, but I'm saying this behavior is atrocious. Don't come for me. You don't have to like my politics. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm just saying I'm done with the lies. We were told at the beginning of this, he was going to get ahead of his past, hold himself accountable, all of these different things, and that would have been fine. Go ahead. He didn't do any of that. Everything's been a lie. Everything's been downplayed. Everything's been cutting corners. The whole thing. And whose expense is that at? Me, my mom, as we're chased down by the media, we're terrorized, all these different things. People are questioning my authenticity. I'm done. Don't lie. Don't put this on me. This is a candidate issue, not a me issue. I wouldn't have spoken out if there weren't all these lies every day.
And then the next video Christian Walker posts, he writes, "I've spoken to nearly all of the people who have attacked me and told them quietly that I didn't want to be involved. Now they're blaming me for everything I'm not responsible for. It's disgusting. Play the video.
And just two more things I have to address, and then I'm done with this buffoonery nutjob land. This is atrocious. People on the right are pulling up that I did a campaign event with my dad last year. They're saying, well, you supported them all last year and all this year. You look suspicious. No. You all have been calling me saying, why aren't you on the campaign trail with your dad? Why aren't you helping him out? This looks weird. You should go help him. And I've said to you calmly, I'm not getting involved. You don't know my family life. I did one event last year when we were told he was going to get ahead of his past and hold himself accountable. None of that happened. Everything's been a lie. So for me to tell you I'm not getting involved, and then you also be flooding my DMs and calling me saying, I didn't know all this about your dad, we're going to lose the Senate race. And then when I simply say, I'm done with the lies, you go, well, Christian looks suspicious. Excuse me? I haven't told one story about what I experienced with him. I'm just simply saying, don't lie. And then for certain political pundits to be pulling up old pictures I posted of my dad, thinking they can police and determine what my relationship with my dad was. If you want to pull stuff up, I'll pull stuff up. Don't try me. Don't test my authenticity. All of this has been a lie and you've known it. You've known. So don't you dare. And then to the left, who says, well, he did all this to your mom and you were still with them and, that's weird. You know nothing about my life. My parents went through a dirty divorce. I went through a lot as a child and you don't know anything. You don't know the ebbs and flows of our relationship. Nobody knows anything. So for everyone making these wild theories and whatever, that's crazy. This is about a bunch of lies. Again, if I had an issue with whatever, I could have ended this day. That's not my intention. My intention is don't lie about your life at the expense of me, my mom, and all of the people that you've affected throughout your life. You don't get to pretend you're some moral family guy. You don't get to pretend all these things. Talk policy, talk normal. Do not lie.
I said this in the video I made yesterday when the Daily Beast story broke. I strongly disagree, and that may be putting it lightly, with a lot of the other commentary Christian Walker has put out in the past on his social media platforms. In fact, I've been one of his toughest critics if you go back and watch some of the videos. But after seeing the videos that you just watched and after reading Christian Walker's statements, I do have a lot of sympathy for him, for what he endured, for what he went through, which is obviously a very, very, very traumatic childhood. And as he said in the video, why do you think I was out there railing against absentee fathers? Why do you think I was talking about it? Because that is something that I experienced. And I want to make sure that we all, as part of this community, while it would be easy to criticize and condemn and, further criticize him in this moment of clear vulnerability, that's really not what we're about at the MeidasTouch community. And so if you're looking for me to take a look at those videos and mock him or ridicule him further, that's not what this channel is about. That's not what the MeidasTouch movement is about. This is a movement about compassion, about understanding, about building bridges and trying to understand people so we can grow together as a community, as a country, as a world, and build those connections. And as I watch that video, I see someone who just did something very, very, very courageous. As he talks about, he's been attacked by people on the right wing incessantly because they're worried that he's going to cause them to lose a political race. He's not going to cause them to lose a political race. They caused themselves to lose a political race when they picked Herschel Walker as their candidate, when very basic due diligence would have revealed all of this. But they picked Herschel Walker because they wanted someone to be a proxy for Donald Trump, and they didn't care about any of the other factors, the hypocrisy, the lack of policy, the lack of even putting forward coherent sentences. It's not Christian Walker's fault. And for those people to blame him and pile on him when all he's saying is, look, his message was very clear. I just can't stand the lies. And it's the lies after lies. And who is those lies affecting? Who are those lies affecting? They're affecting me. They're affecting Christian. They're affecting Christian's family, he says. And they're affecting him. They're not props. These are human beings who deserve to be treated like human beings. Period. Full stop. End of story. And when I think about MAGA generally, though, it's a combination to me of the incompetence, the dangerousness, but then also the gaslighting with just the lie after lie after lie. As Christian said, he thought that his father early on was going to come clean about his past, ask for forgiveness, and run a platform that could put the past behind him, but let people know that he is not a perfect human being, to say the least. But he built a campaign on a personal story of lies, and we see this with lots of MAGA candidates. Who's the guy, Majowski in Ohio, who was claiming to be a combat veteran when he wasn't, and he was still in the military, and he still provided valiant service, I'm sure, in whatever he was doing. He just wasn't a combat veteran. So why would you say you're a combat veteran? Why would you lie about that? And then why would you say you were discharged for reasons that were also false when you were discharged for a DUI while stationed, I think, in Japan? So why lean in on these false narratives, these false stories, this constant gaslighting? But to bring it back to Christian, I want to let him know, if he is watching this, that I really, really, really admire what you did. I think it was courageous. You're obviously going to get a lot of hate and venom from the right wing. And heck, you may even get hate and venom from other people who want to, hate on you while you're down. That's not what we're about. That's not what we're going to do. I truly thank you for sharing that. You are a young individual who is growing and is learning and is gaining all these experiences. And this is probably, though, one of the most courageous things you've ever done in your life, and that anyone can do in their life, to stand up and speak the truth like that. And that's one of the things that we support here at the MeidasTouch Network, even if I may disagree vehemently about pretty much every one of your other posts out there. I admire you for being strong and calling out the lies here. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hey, hit the subscribe button right now. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers, thanks to you. Also, if you want to support our independent media on Patreon, go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. We're not funded by any outside investors at all. We're purely fueled by democracy and powered by you. Check us out at Patreon, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas.
This November is Rowvember. MeidasTouch just released its brand new collection of Rowvember t-shirts and pins to let the country know what's at stake this upcoming midterm election. Go to store.MeidasTouch.com to grab yours. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.